and other dignitaries on the stage. On behalf of the GFRAS Steering Committee, I welcome you all to this 7th GFRAS annual meeting. And as you all know, because annual meeting is one of the most important activity of GFRAS, because this is important for networking, to share experiences, and also to reflect on what the kind of challenges which we face at the rural advisory services level. And many of us in this audience know the importance of rural advisory services and how they are integral to rural development, to agriculture development and rural development. And they play a very important role in enhancing the livelihoods of the farmers, contributing to the kind of income generation, poverty reduction, as well as in attainment of the sustainable development goals. But actually, there is a lot of renewed interest. Actually, over the last few years, there is a renewed interest globally on strengthening advisory services, and especially on two fronts. I think one is on the need for enhancing investments in rural advisory services, because there has been a kind of a reduction of investments in RAS investments over the last few years, and this has led to a kind of an erosion in capacity of advisory services, especially to deal with the new challenges. And here we are now talking about a pluralistic and inclusive extension system. It is not merely about talking about a public extension or public kind of a rural advisory services. The second thing is in terms of enhancing the capacities of advisory services, because there is a lot of change in the way agriculture is practiced in most of the countries. Farmers face several new challenges. They need support to link their produce to market. They need to address to make their agriculture more sustainable. And they also would like to know how ICTs, especially the advances in ICTs, could be used to access new knowledge. And there have been new production standards, and farmers need to better adapt to climate change. So farmers face a lot of new challenges which rural advisory services need to support farmers in dealing with these changes. Apart from that, there is also an issue of gender, which we been discussing in the morning also, in terms of how do we address the kind of gender imbalances in technology generation and dissemination. There is also a major issue on agripreneurship. I think this is something which was identified as the topic for this conference. Because without the kind of developing kind of agripreneurship, I think we have a major issue in terms of food security, because we won't be able to attract and to retain youth, especially youth in agriculture, which is becoming a kind of a major problem in the whole world. So I think GFRAS over the last few years, I think in every annual meeting we have been talking about new topics, but then we have been trying to follow it up with in terms of strengthening the kind of capacities, identify the lessons, come out with position papers. So we will be definitely following up on these all these new topics which we discussed, and try to raise awareness about addressing some of these issues. And with its establishment in 2010, I would say GFRAS has come a long way. It is still, I would consider it as a young organization, because it's only 6 years old. But it has tremendously contributed to the development of promoting leadership and advocacy in rural advisory services. So I think this is something which we should be, which we can proudly talk about what has been the kind of the real achievement of GFRAS. And it has also established country foras. It has established 14 sub-regional, regional, sub-regional networks across the globe. So I think this is a great achievement, and now the country foras are being set up. As of now, we have about 30 country foras, and there are several working groups which work on very specific thematic kind of issues. GFRAS has also produced a lot of knowledge products on important issues. For example, it has come out with position papers. For example, the new extension is, it has come out with a global good practice notes on many of the new extension tools and approaches. Apart from that, there are other kinds of documents being brought out by GFRAS. I think there is a kind of that's also a kind of another major achievement which I would say GFRAS has achieved over the last 6 years. But it has still a long way to go, and because there are several new challenges which we need to address, and though we can be happy with the kind of achievements which have made in the last 6 years, but I think there is a lot more needs to be done. So I think we need to further strengthen GFRAS and its regional and sub-regional kind of a network. This year 2016 has been very important, has been a kind of a major year of change for GFRAS, especially for two reasons. Firstly, GFRAS has a 10-year new strategic framework which specifically focuses on advocacy, focusing on professionalization of extension services and knowledge management. And this is, we have now developed another 5-year operational plan, which basically try to strengthen the regional and sub-regional regional networks to perform these kind of the activities under these strategic fields, which is all about advocacy, professionalization, and knowledge management. Another change is our change in the executive secretary of GFRAS. I would like to first introduce Christine Davis, our outgoing executive secretary, who led the GFRAS since its beginning. And I think I would like to put on record GFRAS the appreciation and gratitude to her for setting up a kind of a global network from scratch. I would say for 6 years, and I think she put a lot of work in terms of strengthening GFRAS. And she'll be going back to IFPRI and to the USA. She's going as a director of extension in the USA Field Officer program. But I'm sure we'll be meeting her and we'll be interacting with Christine in the days to come. Secondly, I would like to introduce Karim Hussain, who is the new executive secretary of GFRAS. And Karim is bringing about 20 years of experience of working in advisory services in terms of research and policy. And he has been recently has come to GFRAS from IFAD, where he spent about 10 years dealing with the kind of research policy, knowledge management. And I hope we hope to work with Karim in the days to come, and I would invite him to the GFRAS community. And I think under Karim, I hope you will see a lot of further strengthening of GFRAS. I would like to thank what is the RESCAR-AOC and AFAS in terms of agreeing to host this conference, and organizing an annual meeting like this is a great kind of a task and responsibility. And I would like to thank especially Patrice and Celine, the RESCAR-AOC and the AFAS team for agreeing to come up and organize this annual meeting. I would also like to put on record our gratitude to the government of Cameroon, and especially the Office of the Minister for Agriculture and Rural Development, provided the kind of leadership and support in organizing this conference. And the World Agroforestry Center, they have been helping us. I don't think without their support, many of us would not have been here probably, in terms of doing the kind of logistics and working very closely with the GFRAS secretary. And I think I will close it. I don't want to try. And like you, I would also look forward to a kind of a 1 week of productive interactions over